Welcome back to the Lowe Down on the Floor. I'm Devin, better known as Road Trips from Season 3.
And I'm Zack, aka Trees. Tonight we're breaking down the epic 2-hour season finale of Fox's The Floor.
So after months of strategy, duels, upsets, territory battles, alliances, it all came down to one final night, one contestant walking away with $250,000 grand prize.
And we're not doing it alone. We've got multiple contestants. It's a party. Joining us to give us their first-hand reactions, behind-the-scenes stories, and insights into the biggest moments of the finale.
So we'll talk about the key duels, the turning points that changed the game, the pressure of playing for life-changing money, and what viewers didn't get to see on TV.
So whether you're a die-hard Floor fan or just finished the finale, buckle up.
So let's get into it on the Lowe on the Floor season finale recap. And if you watch this episode, I generally start with numbers of the game. But there's only one number that matters, $250,000. None of us have the $250,000, but that is okay. So I want to bring everyone into, and this is America, I'm talking America. If you don't know, unless you listen to the show, we shoot about 2 to 3 episodes a day. So the contestants at this point got to experience 8, 9, and 10 all in one day, and they survived 8, 9, and 10. Knowing that they made it to the last day, they can finally go home to their family one way or another, and they're going to have 11 and 12. So my question for everyone, and say your name at the beginning because I did not do a proper introduction of you guys, so many of you guys. What was your preparation like for getting ready that night before you had to do the finale?
Preparation for the finale to me was probably the easiest because you had fewer categories that you could really hone in on. Where at the start there's 100 and you really only focus on like the 4, maybe 8, kind of extending out from where you're standing on the floor. But for me, I was like, okay, there's 17, well, 16 that like you really can kind of zone in on.
I would agree. I would say, like, I kept studying the category I had at the time. So also, I'm Victor. I was studying world religion, so I was still focusing on that, the ones around me. But then because going into day 5, so finale day, we had still the 3 squares left that hadn't played yet. So celebrity Santas, national park postcards, and plumbing. I assumed one of those 3 would then become the big whale that would overtake. So then I was also studying those 3 as well.
Yeah, I'm
Liz?
Liz. I guess I was going to say it was a really odd, like, crossroads because on one hand, it felt like echoing James's point, it felt a lot easier. Like, you're studying less categories. You can kind of like to some degree predict, what's going to happen. So it's like, to some degree it is what it is. And then the other part of your brain is like, well, let's go.
Totally.
Like, you know what I mean? This is X Games mode now. So
Totally. This is Mark. Honestly, the night prior, making it to that final night, for me, I think it was the most relaxed the entire week. It was kind of like I'm on house money at this point. I didn't think I'd get to the finale. I was more focused on just eating a really good meal that night and getting a good night's sleep. I brushed up on a few things study-wise, but honestly, it was more just getting rest because, by this point, we've had 4 grueling days of filming. We're tired, and I was like, if I don't get my sleep tonight, I'm not going to be worth a darn in the morning. So that was really more my focus.
So I actually had a really interesting scenario because there's a scenario where I was still frozen, right? And the odds of me staying frozen going later into episode 11 were pretty high because knowing that the people that were out there, and they're not going to want to go back to the floor with the category they maybe adopt, and they're going to want to get time boosts and advantages, and there were a lot on the floor. So and James can probably attest to this because there was a specific moment I remember behind the scenes, but I was really focused on studying the categories that I thought that I would probably do the best in, that I had at least remote experience in. When we were going into the finals, not to jump too far ahead, I was like, I don't know about Muppets. I don't know shit about soap operas. I didn't study it.
Yep, same.
I'm not going to, and it's going to be
None of us studied soap operas.
yeah.
I did, believe it or not, but
And
You
yeah,
got
scenario.
there, James, so it worked for you.
And it was just a scenario where it's like I couldn't cram things I didn't know. So I tried to, out of the 16 or 17 things, I tried to take 10 that I felt like I could cram. Yeah. And then there was 7 where it's like, I hope these don't make it to the final. And so.
Very similar.
It looked like the aggressiveness out there on the field pretty much helped you make it all the way because less randomizer, fewer people that, or more people that haven't gone. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
So
and when you're going
say
in,
thank you to Mark.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh,
You may have
Yeah.
kept him on as the Iceman.
yeah, for a little bit. I could explain what my thought process was when we get.
I mean, to be fair, I think
I'll explain it in a
I
minute.
know we're probably jumping all over the place. I think Paige making the decision she did by going for robots is what set the tone for the rest of
Yeah,
the final. Like anyone with that middle piece, their
totally
best
did.
bet was to just keep playing. So
And that's what everyone kept. It was just it's only
agree.
Liz. Like Liz, you got double randomized, and then from there it just kept going. Someone challenging a next person.
yeah.
Yeah, which was absolutely
Yeah,
brutal.
yeah.
I crashed out more than I would have reasonably liked to admit to.
Liz, I'm sorry. I had no intentions on you getting picked there. That was not
No,
my
I
intention.
no, I know.
I'm sorry.
I actually did think that I saw a gleam of regret in your eyes, and that's and that's okay. Like I'm like, no,
Well,
me and him are cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, totally are. I'll jump ahead if that's okay, but I'll explain. So once Eric got unfrozen, I went back to the floor, as you guys saw. At that point, I knew, Eric, you had at least 4 or 5 people bordering you. I was going to go back to the floor because I'm like, okay, I got a 50-50 chance that somebody that gets randomized next is not going to be next to me. It could be next to you, Eric. So I thought, hey, maybe Eric will get in the game. It just didn't work out that way. But, it is what it is.
I would have loved for it to work out that way, but we'll try to slow down so you guys.
Yeah, we are over the place. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then it became the reign of the Muppet whale, Mark.
Yes, the Muppets got passed around like a doobie, I guess you would call it that way or something.
You heard me.
There's always got to be that one episode that anyone can get, or is not, maybe not anyone can get, but a little easier than the rest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just really curious, like, how do you feel about sort of getting like a villain edit? Like, I've really been curious about your reaction the whole time, because I feel like you've been just like you really caused, you really ruffled a lot of feathers. Like, how do you feel about that?
Feel great. I feel like I can fly, baby. Like Icarus.
There you go. Yeah.
It's interesting when you live it, and this is a really interesting scenario because there's 100 different contestants from 100 different points of view, from 100 different situations, and then you lump in everybody else that's also involved with the production, seeing it from their own perspectives. And I don't know. Well, no, I do know exactly when. The first 4 episodes, Dion was still on the board, and he was kind of ruffling feathers, and he had won some money, and then I had won some money. And going into episode 5, I remember the confessionals changing from "tell us about your family and your daughters, and tell us about your wife and how fun it is to so who's all in your alliance, and why are you playing the game this way, and why are you did it?" And I'm like, whoa, this is a complete 180 from what we were talking about from episode 4 to episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
And there was obviously a lot of perspectives, and I think production needed a storyline, and they ran with it, and it was a good one, because there 2 things can be true at once. I can be playing a great game and having fun and be kind of aloof or oblivious to what's going on, and someone across the floor could completely be living a different truth and thinking that I'm this ringleader of an alliance that I didn't know existed, but kind of existed, but didn't. And it's a really unique experience. But being the villain of the show has come in waves. There's been really high highs and really low lows, but now that it's over, I think the most refreshing comments I'm seeing on Facebook and Reddit is like, he's a legend. He's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. And I'm like, all right, it was worth it. It was worth it.
You wanted the PR,
okay.
you got it.
Yeah, follow-up question. Are you a Gemini? Because that was a very Gemini man answer.
I'm a Capricorn. And
oh, all right. Yeah, that makes sense too.
I also may have wrote that comment in Reddit about myself. But no, so it's been a whirlwind, but I think like if there were ever an edit to be remembered, that's going to be one of them. And that's the whole goal for a lot of us is A, win money, and B, be remembered. So hopefully it was a memorable season and a memorable appearance.
Totally. Everyone
honestly, absolutely. Yeah. And Eric, I mean, you could parlay this into something else. I know you said something about Traders or some other shows out there. You may be on the eye of some folks. I have a feeling after this.
We'll see. I don't. I think I could take it, but I don't know if my wife could take it because she's in the house like these they're saying. I'm like, it's all right. It's all right. We're good. Just do it. I'm gonna.
I think the play is like Survivor Arctic, something like
there
that.
you go.
Iceman strikes again.
Well, if you listen to this podcast, I have a bias. Y'all know who my bias is. I've been rooting for Mark since the very, very beginning. Sorry, Eric. Sorry, James. Sorry, Victor.
I was rooting for Mark too.
So
Mark, tell us about this iconic win. You may not have come away with any money, but you did.
No, but so they told me after I lost the last duel when I came off the stage. The gens told me both. They're like, you just tied Brian from season 3 for 9 duels, most all-time US. I'm like, I did? I wasn't even aware of it. So I was like, that's cool. At least I'm going down in history. And I said, you know what? They're like, of course, they gave you the ubiquitous. Are you okay? You doing okay? I'm like, I'm great. I said, just tell me I made great television. And I remember this, Jen Colbert specifically, because she goes, can I swear?
Yes.
Okay. She goes, you made great fucking television. That was epic. I'm like, perfect. So,
I mean, yeah, your duel with Jim specifically is a standout.
Oh my gosh. Because Jim was next to me the whole time and we had been chatting, and that guy is super intelligent, really smart guy. And I know he had been studying his brains out for biopics. It's like, he's coming for me and I better be ready. So I needed the entire arsenal against him. And I'm glad I did, because I think I won by 8 seconds. So it was, I mean, if I didn't have that boost, it would have been a lot.
I think that was the only duel where a time boost was used and it mattered. Like it was
used appropriately. Yeah. And I think even Rob said that after the duel. He's like, you needed that time. I'm like, yeah, I did. So I knew.
I don't know if you caught it actually in the episode when you and Jim were up there. I go, these are 2 smart dudes.
This one's say that. I laughed at that. My wife laughed at that. She goes, Eric's giving you a big head, isn't he? I go, yeah, a little bit there.
And I'll be honest, I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. They were both rooting for you. My daughter actually had like a little index card where she was writing how many seconds were left over from all your matches. Because she was like, there's so much time left.
What was your thought process then of like by choosing cocktails with Sean? And then what would you have done if you actually won that one?
If I had won the cocktails one?
Why Sean? And then what would you have done if you won the cocktails duel?
Great question. So why Sean? That obviously was a mistake. In retrospect, here's the thing, and I know when they give you those categories in advance, in the footnotes, as you guys know, that tells you if it's an audio duel or an association duel. I blanked at that point, so I'm thinking, oh, it's pictures. I can do pictures of cocktails. I take it back. I had forgotten it was. I wish I could have. Because I knew Sean had inherited the category. And Eric, I thought about you. Going after you, but I knew you were going to use your time boost, and I hadn't studied eco-friendly living. I didn't think we were ever going to get near each other out there. So, but had I won that duel against Sean, to answer your question, I would have done a category swap, and it was either going to be James. I thought about your category, country flags. I knew you were confident. I thought about Lauren's category too, and even though I didn't know shit about soap operas, but I thought, well, maybe it would put some pressure on her and take some meets. There was a couple of options I had. Eric, you were one of them. Victor, you were another. So there was a few swaps that I was going to do had I won that duel against Sean. But I figured, I would have got the 20K. I could have had at least lunch to debrief and think about it a little bit, what my next plan was, and then go from there. But yeah, you know which one I would have done? Well, Victor, this is not a diss on you, I promise. Cruise destinations. I've traveled so many places over the years for work. And like, oh my God, it was skylines. I thought it was going to literally be ports of call.
I think we all got juked.
Yeah.
No, none of us knew what it was going to be until like Aaron and I started.
I should have just picked that. I don't know why I didn't, but yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. So
everyone on this call had potential to take it all this season. You all had your moments where you played strategically. Did you actually get to play the game the way you wanted to play, or would you have changed something?
I don't know.
The thing like I said, about the floor is I think it's very circumstantial how you end up playing, because if I had been randomized earlier, my approach would be way different. But because I didn't duel until episode 10,
for sure,
there was no reason for me to go on a run. The one and done was that was the move. And then of course reminding everyone, there's a guy who's frozen that's kind of messing up the board right now. We need to unfreeze him. But if I had dueled earlier, it would have been a different approach. But I obviously would not have done anything differently.
Totally. Yeah.
I think an extremely unique thing about the floor is you kind of play the game that it gives you based on luck and chance,
Yeah.
right?
You have
So it's
to.
like,
Yep.
and I actually want to hear from Liz on this too. I know without the video, we haven't forgotten about you. We know you're there. But yeah, like had I not been challenged that early, like my game would have been completely different, right? But I want to
Sure.
talk. I want Liz to kind of express on this too, because we had a really good conversation about Muppets and about the game and about the play. So Liz, take the seat here for a sec. I want you to kind of share that.
Thank you. I mean, I now realize I'm in a chat full of Mark stands apparently. So I don't know if like all of you were my ops when I was going up in Celebrity Santas then, but yeah, I mean, there's really I kind of got the best of both worlds a little bit because the category that I applied with was horror movies, and they told me no. So,
Wow.
and then I showed up and I was next to Ryan, and I was like, I mean, like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
I used to work in reality TV, so I'm like, this is not an accident, you know, like this is exactly this they're expecting that to happen. Or at least like they wanted it to happen. I mean, obviously, I think, you know, again, it's all up to chance. I'm not thinking, you know, whatever. But I got to play against Ryan, and now Ryan and I we're doing an event in LA where we're going to do like another like filmmaker face off thing. Yes,
Awesome.
anybody who's around should come. Everybody who's around should come. It's gonna be cool. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have done anything differently. I also kind of couldn't have done much differently because it was kind of like me and James were our own like little islands, you know, and everyone was just like encroaching on our territory. But yeah, I mean, it was tough to come out to everyone in my life as a huge Muppet head. A lot of people didn't know that about me and then not get to play it. That was definitely tough. I mean, when I got Celebrity Santas, like I knew I was cooked, especially with the time boost. But I do feel like, you know, not to toot my own horn, but maybe I'll toot a little bit. I feel like Mark and I had a good duel.
I think
You
so
broke
too.
your own in
Totally
that
did.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Toot that horn. Yeah, you helped your own fine, Liz. That was a great duel, actually. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like, you know, there really wasn't much else I could have done strategy wise. I mean, once I did start to realize, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I knew liking Muppets was a niche thing. I did not realize the extent of how niche until no one wanted to duel me. And I was like, oh, wait, like I actually might have a lot of advantage here if I go back to the floor. And then, you know, it ended up working out to some extent. So
I'd like to go into something if we still can't hear our fearless leader over here, our silent leader. What was your favorite duel, not your own, since we've been talking a little bit about that?
Oh, okay.
Oh, tattoos is pretty crazy.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, tattoos is pretty crazy. And then obviously like the finale, I was nail biting with James and Lauren. So like, you know, that one was nuts.
That was great. Yep. I still love the Lord of the Rings one. That was great.
Yeah.
I know it's early, but it was really fun.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Maybe I'm not remembering this correctly, but I think it was the one between David and Kat, because didn't it come down to 1 second?
Oh, yes.
And like it was just like that close where it was just kind of like
yeah.
That one I remember being kind of like, yeah, my palms were sweating there with both of them.
Totally.
Yeah, I think we had like our season, I think was like we had so many like nail biter 1-2 second left duels. Like I'm still gonna say, like I said this already, like Mark, you and Jim and Biopics,
yes.
I think is the duel of the season.
It is the duel of the season.
Back and forth it was. You guys never missed, and then the amount of time that was left. But I mean, on like you and Kim too in Legendary Lines, that was
great
so
too.
incredible.
That was great too. Yeah.
And dude, she should have won that one.
I said it too. I think, and they aired it. I'm glad that they left that in the edit because I'm like, I specifically said that, you know, I shouldn't even be up here anymore. I think I said it to Robin and left it in there, and I meant it. I really didn't deserve to win that duel. I'll freely admit it. So yeah, but
that's the floor though.
It's the floor.
I may be biased, but I really liked the reality TV show winner duel. I thought that was a fantastic.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
Really, or is that
No, I actually really did enjoy it. I enjoyed it for a numerous amounts of reasons. But that was
getting niche out probably.
I thought it was a great duel. I also there was a couple of ones. Shout out. So I want to say something really quick as well, because I think one of the most iconic duels of this season is going to be Spa Day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we forgot that one.
And
that's
I
true.
want to give a shout out because Austin is one of the kindest, coolest people I have
He's
ever
a good
met.
dude.
Agreed.
He's a good dude.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally cool guy.
And I would love to see him just kick ass because he thought he was gonna have bowling or something else. Like he's a smart dude and he kicks ass. And I think he just like he had a strategy and it totally flipped when Kristen did the swap. And
Yep.
he just, unfortunately, I think he just got caught on his heels a little bit. But that was one of my favorite duels. And I would love to see if they do a redemption season, Austin get a redemption because he's my boy. But yeah, reality TV show winners, Spa Day, and yeah, all of the close ones. So, but those are probably my top two.
Where Austin took.
Can y'all?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay because I think if I talk and not be seen, maybe just maybe I won't freeze. that's in my dream. I want to talk about duels in that a portion of you guys made it to the final episode, right? Made it to the end. Victor, this is really for you.
What's up?
Did you relish taking Eric out?
Oh my God.
He still relishes taking.
Oh my
it.
God.
down.
I
Yes, he
still
does.
am.
He texts me
I
mulch like every
dethroned
day.
him. I took out the villain of the season. No, I mean, there were so many. I talked so much during that last episode that didn't make it in the final edit. So I'm now the whale after having Kaylee challenge me in World Religions. I win World Religions. And so I had a moment up there with Rob, like I'm literally choosing the least worst option here because there's three people, Aaron, James, Lauren, who still have their original category, and then Mr. Eco-Friendly who had the time boost. So I'm like, let's go, Eric, let's do it. And then no expectation of winning because it was Eric. Eric had 5 seconds, and Eric had been, hopefully been studying eco-friendly the whole time, where I only studied eco-friendly like 10 minutes maximum. No expectations at all. That's why you see me with this whole like, oh my God, like I fall to the ground moment after it. No expectation of winning that. But yeah, Eric, I had fun during that duel. I didn't see the PVC pipes or paper straws that you were looking at, but I mean,
I didn't see paper straws either, so we're fine. Luckily, you don't have to study when your slides are bike, bees, trees, and stairs,
Right.
or recycle. You don't have to study that.
Yeah.
I still haven't gone to Goodwill.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. No, it was a good duel, and ironically, I had been studying it, but like. Shit, man, like a fucking pee stick and a bidet look the same.
But that's another thing about the floor. Sometimes the photos are just so obscure. Like you
Yeah.
know what it is, and when you're past, it's like, oh, like hourglass, obviously. But like the photos, what you study, it's not obviously not going to be the image you studied with.
Right.
So that's kind of like the disconnect sometimes, and so it's obscure.
I have a
100%.
question for you guys. With eco-friendly, did they give you a little like parentheses about what eco-friendly was going to be? Because that's a broad category. Because personally, I wouldn't have studied anything. I just would have went up there. I either know it or I don't. It is what
I'm
it is.
thinking like windmills and like.
I think the description was literally items related to an eco-friendly living lifestyle. Is like what it was.
That's so vague.
It was extremely broad.
I'm aware. That's what I'm gonna do.
And I want to say one thing on record. I grew up in the desert, and everyone's heard this from me at this point. We do not call that mulch because we don't have mulch in the desert.
Eric, I'm with you on this. I've told you that.
And like I sent Victor a picture because again,
look up the pictures.
Mulch, compost, mulch, compost. I'm like, all right.
Wood chips.
But like I sent him a picture of a shovel holding mulch and a shovel holding wood chips, and it's identical. I'm just saying.
I pulled up the category. It says eco-friendly. Name the item associated with waste reduction and sustainable living. That is what we were told.
So a pee stick.
The pee stick. Yeah.
Hey, you got to pee on something, right?
Oh my God. So let's take it back down. Victor, you got your victory. You slayed the giant,
The ice giant.
yeah, the ice giant.
Man,
Art-
he's gone.
Art- Art.
We're
Art-
hot now. Final four.
Yeah. Why cruise destinations?
Why cruise? So again, I walked through like all three options on there. So I couldn't go back to the floor with Muppets because you heard me make a fool of myself saying I'd literally learned today what a Muppet was. Because if I had gone back, one of the three of them would have to challenge me in Muppets and I would have to pass all of it. Then I said, they showed me talking about Lauren with soap operas. I would have passed 45 seconds. I knew no one was going to beat James in Country Flags because we all knew that he knows every single flag.
Yeah, he knew it inside and out. Yeah.
And then I said, I'm really choose the least worst option here again because I'm like, Aaron is cruise. I've never been on a cruise, but I'm like, in my mind, it's the most general one I could kind of work my way through, maybe, even though none of us had any idea what we would actually see for the pictures of cruise.
Right.
So I'm just like, why not? We'll give it a shot. And yeah, I was like, honestly though, if I could go out to anyone, like I'm glad it was Aaron. I'm like
She's
one
great.
person I hugged before a duel, absolute best. And I went out in grand Victor style. I'm happy with how it ended.
And it was a good duel. Like you and
It
Aaron.
was a good duel, actually. Yeah.
Close enough. Like, and again, like watching it back, like of course I know Istanbul, Turkey, but in the moment it's like Jesus. I said like three other cities in Italy, and it didn't get Venice, but you know. And I missed LA, and I was in LA for the watch party. So here we go.
Jesus is a taxi driver in Peru, so
Yeah, right.
But I know Jesus in Peru.
But I think that's fair. Like you try to go in such a broad category that you can do what you can do and hope for the best, especially when you know that your buddy might be an expert, and I'm gonna call him your buddy because y'all sharing a screen together. And I'll say this, and this is me being a hater of James. This is me not being a hater of you per se, because I watched your season of Amazing Race. I love reality TV, like so. I would have been reality TV winners would have been my thing, and I saw you then win against Aaron and win some more duels, and I thought this mother lover is about to win another reality show. Get out of here.
I mean that's what winners do. Winners win,
Yeah.
right?
Winners win. Yep.
Many people were relieved that I didn't win for that reason alone, and that was definitely talked about multiple times behind the scenes. Like there were some people who were very vocal about me being there, as well as the other reality TV people. There was something against us because we've already had our 15 minutes, and it was unfortunate that it was that kind of toxic at times, but. I would have loved to have won, obviously, but I've said this to Lauren multiple times. Like, if there was anyone to lose to, if it wasn't Victor or Aaron, like Lauren, she's a woman, she's a mom. Like, I am all for her. Like, she's just an incredible person. So I'm happy that Lauren won.
No, James, I'm
I have
just
a
messing
small-
with you.
No, I know.
I was like, who does he
James, I
think
have a
he
When
is?
he still wanted to win, we all did.
Sure.
James, I have a small
I
question.
do find
James.
it.
I was gonna say, hypothetically, what if it was me?
If I lost to you, I mean, at that time, Eric, it would have been a tough pill to swallow for sure.
In that moment, like a year later, we're good, but like in that moment,
Oh
man.
Eric, I'm gonna let you know a secret. I've squashed some beefs with some people from my season, but let us be on a season together again. Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong.
So James and I have actually, in my opinion, created a really strong bond after the fact. And if we were ever on a season together doing anything, I think we would absolutely dominate. I'm just saying that. Just saying.
I wouldn't bet against you guys, that's for sure.
Hey, Zack, we gotta step our game up, buddy.
I'm in.
It's also
Season
just
10
like
redemption.
Go ahead, Liz.
I was just gonna say, like, I think it's so interesting because I think the sort of like vitriol that was directed towards like James and the other people who have followings or are reality TV stars, it kind of was like, it was so weird to me, and I think that's partially what caused some like tonal issues because like I think they being like, you know, maybe like it's Fox or producers or production or even the people on, like they kind of can't decide like what sort of show they want it to be because they kind of flip flop between wanting it to kind of be like America's game show with a bunch of just like average Joes, but then also like, you know, I worked in reality TV. I was like a producer. I was on the dark side for a while. Like, you know, like having people who have done reality TV, you know, it does increase viewership and it does get people interested, but also it's like, you know, the floor is largely a game of chance and luck. Like regardless of how many Instagram followers or how many other shows you've been on, like the floor is the great equalizer. You know what I mean? Like it kind of like doesn't, like, I know people just like want people to root for, but that was just always sort of bizarre to me because it's like, it's not like they got any sort of advantage.
No, it was an even playing field for everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, Liz, I say this, and I say this to everybody as a fan of reality TV and a fan of the floor, because clearly I was on it. My only ask is that you can compete. When I saw Ryan on our season, I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy. I watched Clerks. And when he was like kicking our ass back and forth, I'm like, he could compete. And that's all that matters. Like, I just don't want you to flame out because then you like, I feel like you might have took a spot from someone who really wanted to be, because like you're on reality TV. You understand there's recruits and there's applicants.
Totally.
We need both. We need both.
And I would say like almost all of the reality TV people on our season were competitors. And you could see that not only in their duels, but in their vigor, you know, on and off set. Right. So like they were there to win. And they were there to kick ass. And we're all showing up for the same reason. So I think everyone should have equal footing when they're hitting the ground at the side. I don't give a shit if you're Steve Jobs and you're on the floor. Like we're floor contestants. What you do outside of this or what you've done in the past is totally irrelevant. Yeah. So it's like sitting down for a game of Catan. Like I don't give a shit. Before this or after this, we're going head to head, and then afterwards we're going to drink a beer. But I don't want your freaking sheep, you know, like that's how the game works.
Hey, I just say this as the host of this lowly show that y'all on right now. I have to take back what I may have said on Reddit and Twitter about some people. I'm just playing.
Hilarious.
It's so funny.
Tell us
that people are like, "Hey, can we be on the show?" I'm like, "Oh, let me check to make sure I didn't say anything bad about you."
I don't even know what account you are, but at this point, I just assume you said something bad because every account that's on it has said something bad. So we're good.
He's got like so many names over there just sniping people.
I actually haven't been that bad this year. What I'm going to do, and it'll come out, I'm going to actually release all your stats. I haven't been.
I love the stats. I love that you do that.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while. Mark knows that I did it at the beginning of the season. Then I got busy, where I go with your speed of answer pace. I do how many correct answers you got, your accuracy, your pass rate. I have all that in a spreadsheet. I love that. And then this what got me in trouble my season. I ranked everybody. I shouldn't have done.
Will rank you, and you will argue, and you will fight to the death.
And I'm like, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. But apparently, numbers hurt feelings, and they didn't text me. They text Zack about what I had did, and I apologize. I'm sorry. I just thought it was friendly banter. I'm like, hey, yeah, let me rank the top 25, and it was like, how dare you put me at number so and so? I'm like, at least you made the list.
Yeah. I think there's some people that take the heat a little bit better than others.
So I'm gonna release that and give y'all.
I love the numbers, Devin. It's cool.
I think you should rank our season.
It's pretty fun, yeah.
Devin, I always call you road trips. But so, what did you guys think of the overall thing of the season?
Oh wow, we're being interviewed. Zack, go ahead, Zack.
All right.
I'm curious because outside perspective, we were all there, right?
So yeah, I will say this is one of my favorite endings, mainly because my strategy worked. My strategy was that the best defense was a tree fence. See if I can get this. I was trees.
Trees and road trips.
So
oh, Mark, you're wearing it.
I am wearing it. Yep, I'm repping. Yep.
There you go. Oh, we even have like the.
Yep, they did that with ours too.
Mark does too.
See if I can spin it around there. Maybe
nice.
That ass on the screen here, but yeah. So
I didn't know we was gonna show off our backs tonight, but okay.
Got to bring it back. But my strategy was get one square, go back and hide behind my category because I felt no one was coming for trees. Trees did make it to the finale. So even though it was an inherited category, no one went after her
You want to touch it.
because it was trees. I mean, who thinks about trees? Yes, it may have been my 15th choice, but
Wait, you got one of your choices? I got kids party. Like
Nuts and
I still-
seeds didn't make the finale.
so
Nuts and seeds.
two of my choices. So I had airport codes and trees were like two of my three,
I love
and
airport codes.
both were on the season, and they put me on the floor next to airport codes.
Oh.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Mhm.
I feel like that's kind of how they run it, is like they kind of give you
I think
something
so, too.
cool, but they
Yeah.
kind of cherry pick in a way where you can
It felt like that.
strategically like one
Yeah, it
of
did.
my expert categories is going to be gaming, and I was
Yeah,
close enough
You're
to
right
game.
there. Yeah.
Well, they want to be able to, it's the producing aspect of trying to
course.
set up good duels that
Yeah,
people are going
absolutely.
to be invested in and get excited about or talk about. So,
I didn't know what to study though because I saw both of mine on the list, and you don't find out your category till like the day
Right.
before. So I was studying both, thinking I don't know which one's going to be mine. But like for me, the season was exciting because the top two people, right? You guys were one and dones.
Top four, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll say,
Devin and Zach, you guys would know this though. Was this the first time in a finale that the two finalists had their original categories? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yes.
The top three all had their.
Yeah, I
well,
think-
Top
yeah,
three,
sure.
Dad.
Top three.
Top three. That's why I got screwed.
yeah. Being an expert this late in the game is like a crazy notion
Yep.
to hold because you let it go by that time you've been
Yeah, totally.
had a chance to do all these things. And so for me, I think the season, to answer your question, Eric, because I know you're gonna leave us to do some other podcasts. I'm just playing with you. But to answer your question, I enjoyed the season in that it had things to root for every single episode. There was no like lull. Like I
Yeah.
hate it when there's like one big well dominating. I love that it was a mosaic of fractured pieces across that anyone could one up the other person at any given time. And then it also seemed like it had a good blend of people to root for and root against. I know that's not fair to you, but
a good blend. There was only one people that were against. Come on, what you talking about?
No, but people you root for and root against for different reasons. And
Thanks for great TV.
And then for me, I've been saying since the beginning, I watched Survivor, I watched Big Brother, I watched all those things, and I've been saying if you listen to the episode, like who's getting the winner's edit? And I should have known what was going on when they would cut to Lauren's like, well, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna sit da 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 da. I'm like, they was giving her the winner's edit, and I didn't even realize what was happening because they was giving her insight on the strategy. And I will mark after you, Lauren was my next big pick.
Yeah.
But it's more because we're from the same area. She's from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. I'm from Goose Creek, South Carolina.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey.
Gotta go for the hometown girl. I love it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Charleston area. I like, let's go. Make
Exactly.
it farther. And then I was also curious because James made it far because I enjoyed his season of Amazing Race. That's why I was like giving him a little hard time. Like it was like relationship goals with James because if me and my wife going there, we're getting divorced. Not happening.
and I got engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, they can make it through Amazing Race. They can make it in life because if you can do a wrong turn and not want to kill somebody.
Where am I supposed to turn? You're supposed to turn 2 exits ago. Why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
So I was excited to see his strategy play out like Zack said. I was excited to see Lauren's strategy play out like she said, and it felt like someone earned it. But Eric, if you had won, you would have deserved it too. I wouldn't have been satisfied with it, but you deserved it. I wouldn't have been. Mark, I was rooting for you. Liz, you have Muppets. I was ready to see you compete. Like I told you, I got my encyclopedia, and so it was one of those seasons where like it's gonna go down in the books of how it went down because I think that's
we all felt that when we were filming it too. I think we all kind of agreed. I remember that last morning before we all flew out and we were sitting at breakfast together. And we're like, this is really, I think this is going to make a really good show this year. And
I think production did. Oh, sorry, Mark.
No, go ahead. No, finish. You probably got the same thought I did.
Production did such a good job to where anyone who would have won, I think that it would have been okay, right?
Yeah.
Because even if I had won, right, you may not have liked it, but I think you would have been like, okay, I can appreciate it. But same thing with Victor and James and Aaron and Liz and Mark and like anyone that had won, the way that they edited, it's like, okay, that's actually okay. That's okay. Yeah. So props to the production team for cutting a season that made sense and came to a nice bow at the end, right?
All right. So I'm gonna ask something before you leave. You know what it is. If you describe your experience, and this goes Mark, like Victor and James and Liz, I'm not kicking y'all off. You continue to talk. They just had some other obligations. But if you could describe your experience in 3 words, what would it be? And let's start with Mark.
On spot. Wow. It's hard to put it into 3 words.
You had nine weeks to get this.
I know, right? I had plenty of time to think this out. I'm going to just say first one's grateful. I mean, grateful for this opportunity that I was even able to get on this show. This had been a lifelong dream of mine since I was like 8 to be on a game show. I've loved game shows my whole life. So this was kind of a fulfillment of a dream to do this. So grateful for sure. Opportunity. I think the opportunity of just getting a chance to be on TV and play and play as much as I did was just incredible. And then friendship. I mean, I know it sounds corny, but I mean, everybody on this call and others, and I'm still chatting with them to this day, and it's great. And I know that even though this run has ended, we're still going to continue to stay in touch. So, I mean, that's something I didn't expect to come out of this show. So that was really cool.
We call that the Flormally.
Flormally, yes. I love it.
Yeah. 3 words. Eco-friendly living.
Compost.
Mulch, compost, and straws. Yeah, so I think without fleshing out too much, I had a very unique experience that a few people know about from the floor. So I would say, like, as Mark portrayed, it was a dream of mine to always get off the couch, like Jeff Probst always say, apply, get off the couch.
Apply, get off,
do it. And I went and I did it, right? And my 3 goals were to win everything, win something, and be one of the best players to ever play. And I think I achieved some of those things. I know I at least achieved one. The other one is debatable, and I didn't do the other. So, like, I would say, like, achievement might be like it was a really, really big achievement or accomplishment. Appreciation, right? Like, I think the floor is one of those unique game shows where it's not 16 people, it's not 5 people, it's 100 people from completely different perspectives and backgrounds, and like the appreciation you have to have just for life and gratitude for being there, having that chance and interacting. Like, that's life-changing stuff that, like, people take it for granted. And then I think that was only 2. So I think the third one would just, kind of to Mark's point, like, just friendship, right? Like it's funny because I would say one of the people I'm closest with now was someone I wasn't even close with, or dare I say was a rival when we were there. And like the uniqueness of how life happens and things change and the adaptability of things. It's just like so refreshingly good to understand everything that came out of it and the beauty of that. So I know that was a lot of words, but eco-friendly living is my answer.
Not 3, sir, but since my video doesn't work, you can do it today. And then I guess the question for you guys, when I edit this video up, what Muppet should I put for me and Liz? So we can represent.
Guys, have that as your screenshot. Yeah, exactly.
I'll be Sam the Eagle, because if I look sideways, I kind of have the profile. So that's who
I think we should all have one at some point.
Yes, I concur. Absolutely.
I concur. Make me Waldorf. I always get
Oh my gosh,
the cranky
that's
old
kind of
man.
perfect.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
Well, I appreciate you guys hosting Mark and I. I know we got a hop,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Thank
yeah.
you
wish
guys
I could
for
stay and
letting
hang
us
out
join.
longer.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for co-hosting tonight.
Sorry about the tech difficulties there, Devin, but yeah, we pulled
Yeah.
it off still.
Yeah, and it makes me feel bad because this is me talking to America. Like Mark and Eric have been like communicating with me, like, "Hey, man, fan of the show. I want to be on the show." And the night that they're actually on the show is my most interesting hosting duty of all
All
time.
right. It's all
It's the
right.
CenturyLink.
But thank you, gentlemen, for hopping on, and then
Thank you.
guess we'll pick up our conversation. Liz, you still
All
there?
right.
I'm
Take
still
care,
there.
guys.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So you did you get an opportunity? Because I was looking, and I don't know when they started this because they didn't let season three do it. Uh,
Mhm.
how was it actually watching? Did they let everyone watch the final the finale, right?
Oh,
Yes, yeah, they did. They brought us all back into like a holding tent.
Okay,
we didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know they was watching, James?
Mm-mm.
No, we thought everyone who was in like the first hour got like sent home back to the hotel. We didn't know
Was
you
not
guys.
expecting
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
No,
so
not
give us the
for
lowdown, Liz.
nothing.
What happened?
I begged them. Yeah, I mean, I begged them to let me go home. I was like, please, can I go? And they're like, no, you have to watch the finale because then we're gonna have you guys come out at the end. But yeah, I mean, they just took a holding tent. I mean, they held us over and like where hair and makeup was for a while, and then they brought us out into the holding tent, and we were like, we all just watched until the end, and they like coordinated it, so we all ran out.
So that's cool. I didn't know that you didn't even know they were going to come out because I know watching it, it seemed like it is very much well planned and to have an audience outside of the wonderful citizens of whatever country we film in, just uh of getting to experience that film. And so James, walk me through those final duels. You made it to the finale.
Yeah.
You are there in it to win. What's going through your brain?
I think that was actually the first time I actually thought I could win. The whole time I was there, I was like, I didn't think I would even make it to the last day. Um, so when I got up there and I beat Aaron, I thought to myself, holy hell, I'm gonna win. I really thought I was gonna win the show. I knew I wasn't gonna win soap opera. I think what's tricky with like any kind of film or TV category is this is my issue with the show is that there's a lot of inconsistencies. Sometimes for film and television, they'll show like the promotional flyer or the poster. And that's what I studied for soap operas. So when the soap opera category happened and they were like stills from the show, my brain just could not process the change. I froze. I was like, this is not what I studied. This is not none of this looks familiar. I could identify who the actors were or the actresses, but I
Yeah.
just couldn't connect the dots. So I knew I was done for with soap opera. Country Flags, I mean, I said it on the show. I wanted to do that first by the off chance because I knew Lauren was nervous. And I was like, if I can get up there and do Country Flags and start off strong, maybe that will still fluster her enough where maybe she'll do a pass or two in soap operas. But wishful thinking, because that didn't happen. And she also held her own in Country Flags. I was really shocked for like the first few when we were going back and forth. I was like, oh shit, she might actually give me a run for my money. So I think at the end of the day, I always knew it was going to get down to the tiebreaker. With glassware, it's another one of those things where I studied literal glassware, like champagne flute, plates, bowls, you name it. So when things started to show up like elevator,
Normal things just made out of glass.
camera lens, I was not thrilled about it. I was like, these are things made out of glass. And sure, that's what the description said, but the category should have just been things made of glass, not glassware, because those are two very different
Yeah.
things. And the thing with the hourglass, like I was bummed because I do think the issue with that is like Sandheimer's not factually incorrect. Like it's not, that is, if you look up hourglass, Sandheimer's always next to it in any kind of definition. I have board games where sand timer is included. Like if you type sand timer in on your iPhone, the emoji shows up. Like sand timer is not an uncommon word for that object. Um, and so that to know that that was my only pass, and I had 3 seconds above, maybe two above Lauren at that moment. That's what lost me the game, and that was a tough pill to swallow in the moment. Obviously, it's been a year, and I've worked through that, but yeah, it was a bummer, especially because you've seen My Amazing Race season, and I joked about it with Will. I said this is karma for us using the yield on America's Sweethearts, Haley and Kaylin. And for those of you who don't watch Amazing Race, a yield is an hourglass. And we used it. We used the hourglass, and people hated us after that because Haley and Kaylin were America's sweethearts. And I was like, that's karma. This is a full circle moment.
That is kind of like wildly symbolic. I mean,
Well,
Oh.
I do say this though, James, and it things that haunt me
Mhm.
is that the thing I got out on was travel accessories, and I said beach bag for what was a tote bag, and it
Oh.
plays in my dreams, and I lost my duel by like 2 seconds or whatever. And when Rob comes up and he goes tote bag, I'm like, Rob, you don't have to repeat what it was. You don't have to say you don't have to you don't even have to talk to me anymore. I'm send me home, Rob. Just send me you know what I'm saying? This is how I'm feeling. Was Anna Lee on your season, James?
No, she was 3 seasons after me.
Okay, I no, I've watched a lot, and then it gets all. She was on our season, so so you go through your glassware. You now have to watch someone get celebrated in the confetti,
But again,
and
it's not one of those things like I was never rooting against Lauren. Like I really enjoyed getting to know Lauren on the floor. Like we always would like react together, we would always debrief on the sidelines backstage before we ran out together. Like I like Lauren a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to like necessarily celebrate her win. Like I I know what that moment feels like, so I didn't want to take away from that for her. Like this was a big moment for her, and I think the hardest part, it wasn't that. It was coming offset and immediately producers are like, we're pulling you to interviews. And I said, no, 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 no. I was like, you need to give me my cell phone and I need to call my husband and I need like 15 minutes to like work through some stuff right now. But it wasn't hard to celebrate Lauren, no.
I should have been more forceful. I didn't even think about saying, "Hey, no."
Well, I just didn't like how they were like, we're going to interviews. And I was like, no, no, I'm not going to an interview right now. There's no way I can do that without crying. Like, it's like, it's a release. Like, again, it had nothing to do with the loss. It was like, for 5 days, we were in this like pressure cooker situation, constantly studying, maybe getting 5 hours of sleep. You guys know how it goes.
I
Like,
mean, it's literally an adrenaline crash.
oh, it's a
Like,
crash.
literally.
Yes, it was like a full release and like in that
Like, it's
moment.
done.
Yeah, Will was my comfort, and I needed that before doing.
Yeah, it's great. Right as you lose, they pull you backstage and like, talk smack about the person you're about to lose to, and you're just
Right.
like, I don't feel like I should do that. I just lost.
Right, right.
Yeah, because after the confetti with Lauren, like we're of course everyone's so excited celebrating Lauren's win. Us, like the four of us, Lauren and Aaron, the four of us have to stay behind for our interview. Everyone else went back together, and then it's like, okay, I have to put myself back in time now to when like I played Eric. I'm like, guys, this is like two years ago in my head at this point.
It is tough, and this is the lowdown on the floor where we give the lowdown. So if you ever are on the floor, you do have to do this, and it's draining because they're going to ask like, "How do you feel?" Let's talk about especially if you just lost, and you want to be. You signed up for a show, so you try to do the thing that you want to do, but you really like, "Hey, man, can y'all leave me alone?" And like, I'm literally when I know I sat in my confessional or whatever, there's literally another contestant bawling and they have to console them on the side. And I'm like, what happened with you guys? I didn't even know they lost. I'm like, well, what happened to cause you to cry like that? Like I would like to cry as well, but this is not where we are. And so season 5 is wrapped. Um, you've made these bonds, you made all these things, and so I have to ask the hard-hitting question that America wants to know: were you in an alliance?
And do you have the tattoo?
Here's the deal. That is a loaded question to end on. Oh my
That's,
God.
that's not my last question.
Oh my gosh.
Here's what I'm gonna say. And
You start.
I have obviously watched the season, and I was one of the more vocal ones about this alliance that was playing out. And I'm not really revealing much because I've watched your guys' recaps and you guys do an amazing job. So it's already been discussed. It's no secret that there was a group of alternates who had a week together leading up to our season, and then that group was put onto our show. And there was 30 of them. And we generalized by saying the alternates. It wasn't all of them that were a problem. There was definitely a handful who went into the season wanting to stir some shit up and be little weasels and get information out of people and then use that against them. And it felt like high school. And that's where I draw the line. An alliance, of all people, I get it. I don't fault the gameplay. It just felt toxic. Was there an alliance? There was a handful, but not all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I wish like it's hard because on the show, like we're constantly referring to like this alliance, like the unassuming viewers at home, like even my parents, they don't know what the alliance is, how it formed. My parents asked me, "Are you in this alliance?" We hope you are. Because what goes unsaid is like these were the alternates from season 4, but my general thing is like I like it really the whole alternate alliance, whatever you want to call it, thing didn't really impact too much my experience on the show, at least what affected my gameplay, how my duels ended up. Really, it didn't bother me too much.
Well, but I also think, sorry, Victor, not to cut you off. Were you gonna? Sorry, you should finish that thought. And there was no way to effectively talk about the alliance without ruining the magic of the show. Because it's like we're still saying like, oh, we've been here for weeks, and oh, like we're in LA, and like blah blah blah. But like, you know, to acknowledge like, oh, and this is how we film the show, and there are alternates, and there are blah blah blah, and then this is how this like it requires like it's so much inside baseball that like nobody's, you know what I mean? Like it's just it's very convoluted. It's not sort of cut and dry. It doesn't have anything to do with like the actual contained like show narrative.
Yeah, I mean, even our season had a lot of alliance talks, like where we had two guys went out to a bar, got drunk together, and they drunkenly made a pact to not go after each other, things like that. Like even when I was picked, I was like, we have an alliance out of mutual fear. You know, it wasn't agreed upon. We just don't want to go against each other because he was a professional chef, ended up winning the season. And I'm like, he's a professional chef with TV chefs as his category, and I was trees, and we were like, we don't want to, look at each other. But
that's also totally valid because that's like sort of contained within the structure of the show.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with that, like, but it's like when there's sort of like outer context of people who have known each other longer and like have had an advantage, like even just like boiling down to like they're not as jet lagged as we are, like, you know what I mean? Just like literally just even like stuff like that, like they have a lay of the land, they know what to expect, like that sort of thing. Like it is sort of like, because I'm very good friends with somebody who was on season 1 and season 2. Like they were just like, that wasn't the experience that we had, especially my friend who was on season 1. Like they knew nothing. They knew absolutely nothing at all about the show until like they were rolling up on set. And it's just like, we've all had such different experiences. And granted, like I still had a great time. Like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change it for anything, but like it definitely like, it was sort of weird because like everybody at home or people who were talking to me were like, I don't really get this whole alliance thing. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, because you're only getting like 30% of the context.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not going to end this on a sour note. I just had to ask the question because someone's going to be like, y'all the Lowe Down, but y'all didn't ask the question that needed to be asked.
I mean, you guys have, again, you mentioned it in the recaps and like, and I even said when I gave my speech when I went to duel, like no one's faulting anyone for forming friendships. I mean, we all are too, but we also understood at the end of the day, like you're going to have to duel your friend if you want to win. And there were some people I don't think that had that mentality. It was like, let's keep each other in so we can keep having an amazing experience together. But I'm like, that's why you lost is because you weren't really playing the game that set you up for success. You were just there to not step on toes.
Yeah, and we're not generalizing for all the alternates because there's so many examples of alternates going after other alternates. So that happened plenty of times. So it's not everyone, but it's like Also to a point of like, I think like I'd say me, James, and Liz had a similar experience where like you see most of the alternates, they sit together in the green room. In between episodes we're filming at night when we're back at the hotel, also huddled up studying together. Of course, like if we want to, like if they see us there, of course, if we want to join, I'm sure they're going to be welcome, come. But like, it's how do I insert myself into that group where they all have this shared connection with each other, and I'm like odd man out because you can tell if I were to join, the conversation shifts, and I don't blame it. It's again, I don't blame them for that. It wasn't anyone's fault, but this was a reality of our experience that you as an unassuming viewer at home would never know.
Yeah. Do you think The Floor would make a great reality television show, like the making of The Floor?
I said, well, because all this was playing out, producers would ask me about it, obviously, and I said, you guys don't edit the show right because like this is juicy shit. Like I am as much as I hate what's going on, I'm actually invested because it's changing the dynamic a little bit here. And it's almost kind of like American Idol where you have a holding room for the talent and they're all singing and they're practicing and they're like sitting and getting to know each other. I'm like the juicy stuff, the the depth of the show is not being filmed.
Yeah.
And that is what's interesting to me. Like we all are huddled in the cafeteria or the holding room, like whispering about like what are you gonna do when we film the next episode? Like what path are you gonna take? And people are like circling things on papers, and it felt like football plays. Like, and I thought that was so interesting.
People lying about what they're gonna do.
And I'm like, you're missing it. This is the show.
And we're still mic'd up when we're in the holding room. They have all of our audio.
Yep. I feel like there should be like a separate show basically going there.
Called Off the Floor.
Yes.
Yeah, like something to capture the lowdown on the floor. You hear that, Fox? Send us over there and we'll capture it.
Yeah. Boots on the ground journalism. Absolutely.
No,
Right?
and like we've done this for a while now, and so it is dynamics. There's a reason why people are doing what they're doing. I always say this on my season, when I won, I danced. Out of context, I look like an asshole because I'm just dancing, not realizing that I really did not like this person by the time we dueled. And because he was a lot of things that I don't want to expose on here. But by that time, I was like, ding dong, the witch is dead. Bye. Bye, sir. Have a good day. And just for me to end up riding a cab with him to the airport. So, you know,
Wow.
Rough.
but that's how it goes. Like you don't really have the context, or like when someone gets not voted off, but they lose a duel and now you're crying.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand the context. And my wife says it's crazy. It's like, you only know these people for 5 days. And I was like, you don't understand, woman. You're not there.
Yeah.
These are my friends, and I might never get to see them again in some instances. This is the only time where all 100 will be in the same spot at the same time. And when they're gone,
Because all 100 will never be able to be in one place ever again.
Yeah. Shoot, in our season, some of our people didn't even really live in the States. I don't know where they trucked these people.
We had a few people from Ireland, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had one guy. It was like
we had Nikki was from Ireland too. Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Nikki, eco-friendly Nikki is from Ireland.
yeah. We had one guy when they was taking him back, he was like, "Hey, can you just stop right here? I can hop off. You don't even have to take me back to the hotel, guy." Like,
Yeah, like there's so much that happens even before they start shooting. I feel like that never gets captured. We had some people drop out before they started shooting. Like there was one guy who had cosplay, was dressed up like a superhero, and then all of a sudden like wasn't there, and we were like, "What happened?" And he, I guess, had some sort of, I don't know how much I can reveal, but he had another show that he was working on, and
I'll
like,
reveal it.
So did an alternate fill in?
He wanted to be Survivor 50, and that's why he.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
and like we had a bunch of other people that dropped out for different reasons throughout the show too. I'm sure every season has had a
Ours didn't. We had no alternates coming.
Everyone there was committed.
Yeah, 100 of us stayed. No alternates no season 5 alternates made it on.
Hey, look!
I feel like we had 7 or 8 alternates.
Wow.
Hey, Vic, I will give you a lowdown on our season. Some of them didn't choose to leave.
Okay.
For very different
Enough
reasons.
said.
T.
For very different reasons.
Oh, but anyway, we digress. We going into the weeds. Um, this has been an amazing experience. It's been an amazing season. I definitely say this for us, for Zach and I, this has been pretty fun. Because even with the guests, and this is the lowdown on the lowdown, it was because of the alliance. It was hard to book guests. I'm saying that to America. And so in the beginning, it was like people were like, I don't care. I want to be on the show. And then as the season progressed, it was more of a scramble of how do we get all these people who want to be on the show on the show now that they're like realize like I'm not going to reveal secrets and all that stuff. And we're just really trying to have a good conversation and put on a good show for the fans
Yeah.
out there. So for you guys who've been listening to the lowdown every week, me and Zach apologize for not doing one every single episode. We are busy. We've been doing things. Internet might go out. Kids might not want to go to bed. But if you do make it on the show. We'll love to hear your voice. If you're on season 6, wink, wink, nod, nod, nod. Come and hang out with your older siblings in the formally. Because everyone that you meet has such a unique life, a unique story, and these unique binds that I could talk to Liz, I can talk to Victor, I could talk to James, people that I never would have thought we would have been in the same room, and now we're connected and we'll forever be connected through this shared experience that we have. And all that to say, if you could describe your experience in 3 words, what would it be? Liz, let's start with you.
Ooh. Okay. I mean, okay, I can't say Muppet Encyclopedia, but you should send me a picture of that later. Um, I'm gonna say singular. I've never done anything like it in my life and don't know. I mean, I would like to do something similar, but this unique experience was so uh niche in particular. I would say humbling. I used to work behind the scenes, and I think working behind the scenes, people can become like producers, especially like can become detached or like jaded or like cynical. And this gave me such empathy for people in front of the camera, and like especially because a lot of people like I befriended so closely, like James, for example, and even like Meg and all of that. Like we had such good discussions about just the industry and being like sort of front facing like that, like how much bravery that takes to just really like allow yourself to be facing the public like that, especially with like because people are mean and like we live in a time especially where people are very callous online. So like that really helped me grow. Yeah, and I would say the last one, I guess I kind of led into the next point, but it was maturing, or it gave me a lot of growth as a person, I think. And like it taught me how to handle, like it taught me the value of like wonderful friendships I made with people who I'm so different from, like me, Victor, Aaron, James, Carolyn, Will, Taj, Meg, all like we are all such different people, but like we came together over this, which was beautiful. And also like there wasn't, I didn't get along with every single person, and I'm a Cancer, so I'm very sensitive. And it taught me how to handle conflict in a way that was mature. So
I'm a Cancer.
oh,
Same. Go
heyo.
Cancer.
Pisces. Okay, whatever.
Oh no, I love a Pisces, fellow
Yes.
fellow water
We're,
sign.
we're on water.
Yep, slippery
I'm
fish.
Sagittarius.
Ooh.
Oh, I see that for you, Victor. I really see that for you. I love that.
So, Victor, what's your 3 words? Describe your experience.
Yeah, if I think of like first thing that comes to mind for that whole week, I would say just like sleepless. I think
Yeah.
I've never operated like 6 or 7 days on only like I maximum amount of sleep I think I got any given night was like 4 hours. Partially because I was staying up late to study because I was very committed to like committing things to memory, studying not only my own category that I had, but the ones around me, but also just the anxiety, nerves, like on edge you're constantly in. Like I was just waking up early at like 4 or 5 a.m. and I'm just laying in bed until my like set alarm clock was going off. So I think that just really for me just captured the whole like experience. And like some people were saying they were like rested before, like I don't remember earlier in the conversation, I don't remember who said like they felt like rested going into the finals. I again was waking up early because I'm like fantasizing in my head, okay, I'm at least 1 in 17 winning this life-changing 250K, all that going on in my head. I'd say that was like sleepless is my first word. Second, I think just like unexpected in so many different ways. Oh damn, did I take your word? Okay. I'd say unexpected in that like I like my thing is like I came into the show thinking, okay, on average I'll make it to about like 50th place. That's like episode 7. I only brought like underwear for 3 days. I was re-wearing underwear by the end. Totally ran out of clothes. Little things like I didn't think I'd make it to the finale. I didn't think I'd make Final Four. I had unexpected in that. I don't know what I really thought going into, but I think truly my biggest takeaway from the show is just like some people said, like the friendships, the relationships, the people I met. I like similar like James and Liz who are here with me, other people who I'm gonna forget. Just like the like lifelong friendships I've made from the show, I think is what I take away most. Like there's a line I said during the show right before I choose to challenge Aaron in cruise destinations. I say to Rob while I'm up there, like, just being here alone, like this experience has been worth $250,000. I wish they included it in the edit, but truly, I mean that. And like this whole experience was worth more than any of the amount of prize money could have offered to me. And then my third word, I'm gonna say Jesus. Jesus, because that for me, that was my moment of the season. I didn't win, but I won.
I don't know. I feel like the America's hero. You took out the ice giant, right?
I did, even though like they barely showed they showed me like, oh my God, on the ground, and then it cuts like Eric in some like victory, like goodbye thing, and then it like moves on to me challenging Aaron. I thought they would make more of a thing out of that, but I mean, Eric deserved it. He absolutely like earned his spot in the finals. Like if I'm really glad, like, I wish it didn't end up me and him having to like duke it out final 5, but like with the way it ended, like I'm really overall just really happy with the experience. I'll have to send a text to Jesus in Peru. I still have his phone number on WhatsApp. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, unexpected was definitely going to be my word as well, and I'm going to still stick with that because I really don't know what I was going to get myself into. Like, obviously, like, I've seen the floor and I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to do it because I loved playing along at home with family and friends whenever it was on TV, and I was excited for the opportunity. But I was like, what am I getting myself into? I'm going from racing around the world to an in-studio live audience, like kind of experience, and yeah, unexpected for sure. I would say draining. I think it's a lot of information and like useless knowledge that you're absorbing in a very short period of time. And because the floor is constantly changing, it's like a lot of pivots and it's just sometimes hard to keep up. And so yeah, by the end of it, I was drained. I was so exhausted. I was shocked at that and did not expect that to be an effect on me from the 5 days, but draining. And my last one would be grateful. I think at the end of the day, despite whatever opinions any of us have had, or especially what I've had, I am grateful to have said yes to this experience because I would not have met Liz, Victor, Aaron, Carolyn, Meg, Will, like Taj, like the people that I walked away being like, these are my people. And how cool that such a unique experience is what got us all in a room together. And here we are a year later, still chatting and still enjoying each other's company.
We'll need to find something else to talk about now.
I might have something to pitch you in a little bit, but let's wrap this. But I'd like to say this has been an incredible season. It's been an incredible finale. So a huge thank you to you all for being our guests, for joining us, sharing your experiences from one of the wildest seasons that we've seen on the floor.
Absolutely. Congratulations to our champion and to every contestant who stepped onto that floor this season. We know firsthand how tough this game can be, and it was amazing to hear the stories behind the strategy, the pressure, and the biggest moments.
So thank you, everyone who's listened, watched, commented, supported the Lowe Down on the Floor all season long. To all the contestants who emailed, I apologize if I did not respond to your email. It's tough. I try. I will be better next season. I promise. But we will continue to do what we can for you guys.
Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, and connect with us on social media. so you don't miss any future interviews, stats breakdowns, and floor content.
So for Zack, our guest, myself, thank you for listening.
And until next season, keep studying those categories, and good night, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank